Couch to 5k? What the actual? So week 5. Oh, got the sun behind me. That's glorious. Week 5. Run 2. 2 lots of 8 minutes. Not a drama. With a bit of a walk in between. Week 5, run 3, which is to be done a day later. Walk for 5 minutes. That's your brisk walk warm up. 20-minute run. That's not even double the previous one. That's like double and then some. Trying to kill me off there. Oh well, you know, so many people can try it. And you lovely people of Weston need to work out when you're doing your barbecues. Do them earlier. Not when people are trying to run. That's not very fair. Some lovely smelling barbecues up on our top road. So wherever you are, lucky people. Guys, wow, wow, wee woo wah. You know, it's funny. I look at looking at what's coming up soon, and obviously being in education, the big thing at the moment is going to be obviously people's grades and how most of them would be projected. We don't just pick grades out of a hat, because that's not how it works. We certainly don't go having favourites or people we treat nicer than others. That don't work either. It's clear. It's I mean, let's be honest. Education, you're only human, and you're gonna have people that you warm to a little bit more, and some you're gonna struggle to warm to. But that's where you put the extra effort in. That's where the professionalism comes in. However, you know that you're being checked for everything you do. That includes the grades if you've had to project them. So everything is done based on evidence. It's evidential. Now, if you're one of these students who's worked hard all year and got to a point where, you know, you're producing good work, quality work, and you've shown the knowledge and improvement on the pathway to say that had you gone on for the rest of the year, you would have achieved this. Had you sat those exams, you would most likely have achieved that. Then the chances are you're going to be happy. If you haven't given the work in, or you haven't done the work up to that point where we closed down a lockdown, if you haven't pushed yourself to do the best you can every goddamn day, and push yourself and show that that level of improvement is capable and is there, then the chances are you're not going to be very happy. Now, we see all the stuff in Scotland where people are like, oh, this is that. And you know what? That's a higher level thing. But my understanding of it is, and this is basic understanding of it, is that the schools and education committees, they projected those grades and they put them together. And then the governing authority said, oh, that all seems a bit high. We'll drop it down a bit. They sort of looked at the average against data, and it didn't fit right. It hasn't taken into account individual people's abilities or efforts or things like that. So, understandably, there was a bit of outrage, and I imagine the English, Welsh and Northern Ireland boards will be looking at those differently. But here's my words, a tip of advice for you. Learn. I'm not saying learn your subject matter from now, but this stuff, what can we say? Couple of months, if that, 2 months max, went by before we sort of really took hold of the coronavirus thing and were locked down. You don't know when that stuff's going to come round. You don't know when the next thing is going to happen that's going to knock people off. It doesn't happen all that often, but because you've got to think about it this way, the world moves so much faster now. Things move around the world so much faster. Things don't creep across the face of the world like a wave anymore. They smash across. And you will get caught out. Learn. If you're not getting your exam results, learn. There is that ever looming possibility of a second wave, more disruption. Learn. And if you ain't going to learn by your mistakes, learn by others. Look at how those people who are clever people, bright people, and they don't apply themselves. I had a full time in my school and I didn't apply myself and I ran out of time. So I can only imagine the anguish that some people can have. Well, I still had half a year left. It wasn't my fault. I want to sit my exams. Well, my understanding is that you will. If you feel that way about it, you can sit the exams in the end. Obviously that grade will then stand. But learn. Everyone else learn. Take advantage of every moment, every time. If ever there was a physical, actual thing, an actual event that happens that drives home, drives in to from your subconscious to your full conscious. We all know the time is limited. That's why it's so precious. But if anything was to drive it home, just how precious that time is. And we're not talking life and death. We're talking about the advancement of your careers, your futures, your lives, your goals, your dreams, ambitions, the whole thing. If ever there was actual activity that would demonstrate the need to take hold and take advantage of every opportunity, every moment you have, this year would be it. This year would be the one. Get on with it, peeps. Deal with it. Enjoy it. For those of you who got grades coming up, I hope you have the grades you want, the grades you need, the grades you deserve. For those of you looking and say, oh well, I've missed out on all this learning. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. If you've not taken advantage of that opportunity, if you've sat back, feet up, and that was your choice. That was your choice. All I needed the structure of education, and things like that. No one wants the structure of education anymore. Or if they do, it's different to how it used to be. No one wants to sit in a classroom being bored out of school, being dictated to facts and figures, being told what the answer is. It's not education. That's qualification of knowledge. That's just in case information. My colleagues and I have worked solid over these past months to adapt to a new form of education that has been shown to work. Proof. Education can change, is in a position to change, and will change for the better. People these days have the information of the entire world at their fingertips. People can ask any question, right or wrong, dark and mysterious, or bright and ethereal. Any question they like, about anything, and there will be a million answers online for you. If you're lucky, they're roughly all the same. If you're not lucky, you've got to sift through and work out which is the right answer, which is the wrong answer, which is the most up-to-date answer, which is the correct one, which is the one that misleads, which is the one that's just trying to sell you something new. Education's changing, but education never stopped. Just because you weren't in a four walls classroom with of peers doesn't mean that your education had to stop. I know that there are people who are on my course who, the moment they left the classroom, didn't think about my subject until they came back into the classroom 2 days later. It was evident. It was clear. It was obvious. Well, guess what? Those people might not be happy when the grades come out. And there were people who'd go and leave my classroom, and there would be questions raised in their minds, and they'd be going away, or they'd be messaging me later on that day. What did you mean by this? What was that? Why would that be like that? Brilliant. Keep asking those questions. Education doesn't stop. Education is forever. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. The moment you stop growing, you start dying. That's the way it is. You grow up big and strong, you start withering away. Such is the human brain. It's a muscle, I think. Guys, education. Mine, as I was saying, my colleagues and I, across our education establishment, it's no surprise. Those of you who've checked, Western College, constantly working to make our online delivery as wide, as varied, as interactive, as informational, as accessible as possible. We've adapted Word documents so that you can open them on your phone and use your phone to fill them in, without the worrying of formatting or things looking weird. We've got lessons broken down into bite-sized chunks that formulate and collaborate with each other. We've got activities, challenges, games, quizzes. We've got experiments online. We've got videos, questionnaires, forms, Padlets, Wakelets, Kahoots. We've got Office 365 blasting it out. There is so much that can be done, seen, and to top all that, we have been available almost every hour of the day. No, you have not been disadvantaged. Sorry. What you have done is been given a taste of real life. You have been allowed to do your own thing and learn in your own time. I had people in my lessons who I know would put the Teams meeting on their phone, leave it on the side of the bed, leave their camera off and go back to sleep. And those people know who they were. Your choice. If you've put the effort in, then, my dear friends, education never stopped. It was just a whole new way of doing things. And do you know what the best thing is now? For me and my colleagues, we now have an understanding, a working knowledge, a tangible method of growing, of doing things better. A mixture of both online remote delivery and real world classroom focused delivery. It's been around for years. It's called blended learning. And that, my friends, blended learning, good evening all. And that, my friends, blended learning is a wonderful place to be. Because you guys aren't silly. You're not stupid. You are capable individuals that have the power to grow. and assimilate information. And we can now give it to you in all manner of different forms. I love it when people say, oh well, I'm more of a visual learner. Alright, here's the information visually, but start learning the rest of it. Or, oh well, I like to read things, that's how I learn. Alright, well, here's all the information, but we're going to do something practical as well. Just because you have a preferred way of learning doesn't mean it's the only way that you learn. Just means it's your strongest. Oh guys, I could go on forever. All I need to say is this: I wish and I hope you have the results you need, you want, that you deserve. And I shall see you all on the other side once those results come out. See you later, everybody. I love you so much. Thanks for following. Sorry about the rant. 16 minute rant. See you later.